Welcome back. We back with another video.
Lou and Mo podcast.
Lou, Mo, about to tell you
Real
what's
Talk
going
with
on.
Mo. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Follow
CB Lifestyle Apparel.
CB Lifestyle Apparel.
Just
all
go
that
buy
good
some
stuff.
shirts, guys.
Yeah, buy some shirts.
God.
Subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
So I was thinking about this earlier today and yesterday. Who are we to tell you anything, right? If you click on this channel and you're watching this is the first video you see, and we start jumping into all these topics and all these things that we're trying to explain to you. It's very, like, let's say you started at episode 56 or episode 72, right? And you just start going from there, especially the recent ones, right? It's hard to go through, it's hard to really listen completely or entirely without some context. We've been through a lot of shit. We've seen different ways to explain things to you. So this is one way I can explain it to you that maybe everybody would understand, and especially if you're a gamer. So life's like an open world NPC, somewhat, right? When you start out on an open world NPC, and you have to kind of like gain levels, right? You can't just stick. First, you got to understand your geography first. You got to look at the maps, right? You got to see where you're at, and that's kind of like understanding your environment in real life, right? Like somebody who lives in cold conditions is going to live differently in Florida. You got to prepare for the clothes you got to wear, all that. Some of those open world stuff are really good. I was recently playing. Playing a lot of these RPG games just to kind of like. I just play for fun, just to kind of see what's going on. We used to play this one game called we played Zelda. Like, Zelda is an open world game. It's like Reigns of Arcadia, I think it's called. And even in that game, like, you have to like level up. You have to know your conditions. If you're in the wrong conditions just to start off in the wrong environment, you start losing health immediately. So your health starts to decline, and the game doesn't last as long. So. And a lot of these games are like that these days. The other thing is leveling up, like leveling up your weaponry, leveling up what you know. You can become like a carpenter, or like you have to have like some type of job in the NPC world. But your goal is to become the king, or your goal is to protect the princess, or your goal is to, right? It's depending on who you become in that NPC. So first you got to figure out who you want to be. Like, even in some of these games where they got raids, like, you have to kind of pick and choose who you want to be. Do you want to be the healer? Do you want to be the one that has all the armor? Do you want to be the one that is just like badass with weapons? Do you want to be the one that's the shooter, a long distance shooter? You got to find out who you are. And even in the real world, it's kind of like that. So you got to kind of figure out who you are in real life, like who you want to, which NPC, which one do you want to become? Some of the things that I did in my life specifically was kind of looking at an idea of who I wanted to be and who I wanted to be in my perspective, but understanding other people's perspective, how I want to be perceived from the outside world looking in, right? Because it's two different things. But at the same time, like, picking and choosing who I wanted to become and choosing the NPC I want to be in my world, right? That's another thing too, is it's super important. And then the other thing I was thinking too was, like, in the process of these games, you have side missions. Like, you have a specific goal, right? They have like a little, like which you guys know, with like a little like destination you have to get to on that big map. You open the map, you're like, I gotta get here. You tap it, and it gives you a straight path to there. But they have 45 side missions. Now, if you choose to do the side missions, it's gonna take a lot longer to get to the end goal, right? But the side missions will increase your strength, increase your whatever you decided to become on your NPC. It'll increase your power. So sometimes it's best to go. Some of them even lead you to light and dark. Like, you could be a good character, or you could be a villain. And by the time you get to that destination, you could become either the hero or the villain. Depending. We used to play a game called Fable, and in Fable you could choose to be kind of like God sent, or you could choose to be the devil's son. So depending on the decisions you make in the midst of these conversations and these side missions that you do, if you decide to not kill somebody or not hurt somebody or feed the people who need it, you become good. But if you decide to be like, screw that, and I'm going to kill this goat for no reason, this puppy for no reason in the game, you become the devil. So it's like super, but it's the same thing in real life. Like, if you decide to, It's a lot of decisions before the destination that you get to. And once you finally get to that destination, not only did you get your skill level up and your power levels up, but you also kind of got to choose a path. What do you think about this?
I'm letting you go.
Oh, choose a path.
Choose a path. Go ahead.
So the reason why I made it open world too, is so you can kind of see like the broad view, how much work. First off, if you really think about the detailers of the game, the people who specifically made the game for you to play, it's already rigged. First off, they don't want you to beat the game, right? But they want it. You can choose medium, hard, right? You can choose all these things if you're really thinking about it. You can choose what level you want to play at. Very very hard, whatever you want. Some games don't let you even do that anymore, but you can choose which one. The medium or easy route is not as fun of a game because you're not going to be able to level up experience. You're going to go through the storyline of the game, but you're kind of going to just coast. If you go through the medium to hard areas, it becomes a little bit more challenging, but you get more at the end of the game, plus you get whatever game add-on comes with the game, right? You get like extra shit. You really get to explore more in the game. So if you choose to be lazy in your life and not actually, and just go through the motions and not actually go through each and everything that makes you become this person or this NPC or this character, and you take the lazy route, if that's what you want to do, you could do that, but it's not gonna be as fulfilling at the end of that goal. And you could play that too. Some of these games you could play all day long, all night long. You could be playing for a month before you finally beat it, right? Or 3 months, 8 months. I've even seen some of these games. Some of these games never end. After you're completed with the missions and you're done with it, you're like, wow, I'm finished. That's completing a goal in real life. I'm finished. I got there. And then they have like raids, missions that you can do with multiplayer, play with other people around the world, right? Now you have your character all built up to who you want it to be. Now you can play with these other players that are just around the same skill level as you and start playing for real. And sometimes you even wind up playing with players better than you who give you shit that you can learn, or you can upgrade your character. Like, here's a shield. You needed this one. You didn't get this one in the last mission? Crap, here it is. And meeting people also helps you do that. So, those are some of the things. But to go back to the original point was, this game is already rigged. It's already set up. They already have things ready for you and set for you. They already have, if you choose your goal and your path, if you choose whatever it is you want to do or you want to become, including when it comes to marriage and all this stuff, those things are for you. Those are your side missions. Your goal is to get from point A to point B, right? I think life is about the other things, right? It's about the other, not the goal is fun. The game is fun. But since the creator created it for you to play, right? Which I guess we could put him as God, or we can put him as the creator. He set the stage for you. You could do, it's open world. You could do whatever you want. You don't even have to do the side missions. You could just go and roam. You can see how beautiful how much detail they put behind the entire NPC. You can see how much these game designers spent years and years perfecting that craft, came up with 3 games that didn't really work out, and then finally perfected it to the point where they put out that new Zelda game or that new NPC, NPC, RP, or, whatever, those games. So to just appreciate how much detail goes into what was created, to have you take time out of your day to play, is on another level of like, holy crap, right? And then you can see how it changes too with era. So like, if you go back to old Sega and old Nintendo and all these other old games, those games look different. They have a different look to them. They have like a grainy look to them. The graphics aren't as nice, right? But if you look at a game now, you're like, holy shit, this shit is amazing. It's stunning. Like the coloring, the way that they just decide to shoot it. It looks like it's like a movie sometimes when you're watching it. But it's appreciation for the person who created the thing. It's the same thing in real life. Appreciation for those little details in the game. Somebody spent so much time perfecting those little things. You know how long it takes to do that shit? It takes forever. But some people don't even do that. They just kind of like roll through the thing and not even care. If you play even God of War, go through God of War, bro. Play the last God of War game. You're gonna be like, holy crap. And if you just pause for a second or just looked around and see how much time it took, look at the beauty that they did, that they created. But on top of it though, it's interesting to me, like, that people could easily listen to this podcast, listen to 4 episodes ago, and get lost in the, oh my God, we're talking about, it's repetitive. Something needs to be repeated, bro. Some things need to be double talked. I need to explain this to you. I need to break this down to you. I may be even right now, I'm saying the same thing I've been saying for 100 and something episodes. But I just use a different terminology to explain it, right? Maybe something that you could grip onto a little bit better. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to help people. We're just trying to add something to your life that you didn't understand before. If you are into video games and stuff like that, and you're just the player, you could be that same thing in real life if you wanted to be. Maybe not exactly the fictional characters, but if you treated it like the game of life, like the game, and you see the accomplishments you have to do, it's very, very simple. Because if you look at it, the format is basically the same for almost every RPG game, for every single open world game. It's almost the same exact thing. You got to accomplish the missions. You got side missions. You have to prepare for your surroundings and the situations. One place is cold, one place is hot, one place is fire, one place is snow. Right? Like you got to prepare for that. You got to have the right weaponry to get. To even pass the mission. So if you skip a mission but you don't have the bow and arrow with the golden damn thing that explodes, and you skip that mission, you're not prepared for the next actual destination. So you got to go through these things in order for you to get to your destination. The same thing with real life. You kind of got to go through it. Most of the other day that our stories our stories are just stories, right? But it's also our life experiences that made us us. And if we cry about the stories, or if we complain about the stories, or bitch about the stories, then we might not have learned anything. If you could complain on that video game about how many times it took you to beat something, right? I have a 5-year-old. There's one little game we play. It's called Astro World. It's on PS5. And me raising a kid is different because I get to see a perspective I didn't see before. She wants to quit and give me the game as soon as she fails the first time. And I said, just keep trying. Keep trying. Just keep going. She freaks out. Is getting mad, getting frustrated, right? Because I'm forcing her to do it on her own instead of daddy doing it. I'm like, okay, I'll do a quick run through. I'll get it done for you. And then I'm not going to let her win. I'm going to go back and let her do it again on her own. So I go through the thing, show her how to do it, let her do it. She's freaking out. I said, calm down, just relax. The game wants you to stress out, wants you to freak out a little bit. So this way you mess up or keep making the same mistake over and over again, right? It's part of the game. It doesn't want you to win. It's trying to make it harder for you. But my daughter said, okay, Dad, I'm going to calm down. You're right. Let me calm down. Let me eat a snack. Boom. She beats the game with ease, dude. My wife is like, holy crap, she just did that. She jumped and did all the stuff that she did, double jump. Look, Dad, double jump. And she got through the game. This is the first game she's ever played. And I'm teaching her how to do it. And she figured it out. It took her maybe a day or two to figure it out. But she figured it out if she stayed calm. If she practiced, makes perfect. If she studied the map. She already went through the map a whole bunch of times. So she understands like where things are. She kind of sees what's coming. So, but she was able to beat the game all by herself, dude, at 5 years old. But because of those lessons that she learned. Because the thing is, her dying each time, she's learning a lesson. Don't do this. All right, whoop, don't do that. Oh, try it this way. Try it that way. And eventually she becomes really good at it. Then she also has to control her freaking gamer rage to stay calm and stay relaxed. And then she can kind of get through it. Also on top of that, too, I try to explain to her because we're working on those because these things will test your patience. It'll test your fortitude. It'll test a lot of things about your character. It'll reveal a lot about your character. But if you go through life like you go through these video games, and like some people like even with Call of Duty, I love Call of Duty. I'm playing Call of Duty. Like the people who tell me that this Call of Duty isn't good or this game isn't good are not good at it. That's why you don't like it. Or if you're not interested in games, then fine. But if you're interested in games and you're like, I don't like this new game, man. Oh, I hate this one, or I hate this game. You could like or dislike what you want. But if you were good at the game, if you were one of the top 50 in the world, top 100 in the world, you wouldn't be bitching about the game. You'd find a way to make money off that game. You find a way to be a TikTok or not TikTok, Twitch YouTuber. If you were top 10, you know what I'm saying? Like you'd find yourself in a league. It's all dependent on it's all your perspective, how you look at it. But if you're not good at the game, you ain't good at the game. And if you don't want to improve and get better at the game, then that's on you. But my 5-year-old's getting good at the game right now, motherfucker. So it's not impossible. It's just what you want to do. It's how you want to do it. realistically, it's up to you and when it comes to this life and how you want to choose it. But if you choose the lazy path, it ain't gonna work. If you're not prepared for your environment, it ain't gonna work. If you're not prepared for side missions and for family and for some things to be perfect or for you to fail, then this life is not gonna work out that good for you. If you're not ready for the next up and coming thing, I'm preparing for the future mission that I'm gonna do just to get there. Like then this life is gonna be hard for you because you're not preparing for anything. You have no goal. Goal's important. Purpose is important. And these again, I'm just repeating things I've already said. I'm just using something that you might relate to. So, like, subscribe, share, comment. What do you think? Do you think of anything about?
No, everything was good.
You said nothing.
Yeah, so let me say, the video game, I guess, I'm just listening. I'm learning too.
That was good?
Yeah, we were relating to the video game, like you're saying.
That's pretty good, right?
World,
It was
all
different.
that. Yeah.
It's different.
Like,
It's just, there's a way to do it. And especially when you look at a kid doing it and you see it and you're like, man, and now look how good our kids are at games.
Well, my kid still rages, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
All right.